There are so many debates when it comes to the Nike Air Force One. Is it a basketball sneaker? Is it the first sneaker to have Nike Air? Was it basketball or hip hop that really put the shoe on the map? And of course, last but not least, what city is responsible for making the Air Force One what it is today? Is it Baltimore, New York, LA, or Washington? Despite all the opinions that float around, something we can all agree on is that the Nike Air Force One is an iconic sneaker. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If it is your first time touching down on this channel, welcome to Small Feed Big Heat. We talk sneakers, we talk streetwear, and everything in between. Now, I know I haven't done a review and on foot on this channel in what seems like 2 weeks, maybe even a little more, but I fully intend to make up for that. And the first shoe I wanted to cross off that list is this Nike Air Force One from the recently released Rucker Park pack. The Rucker Park pack released back in May and included the Air Force One I'll be showing you all today, as well as a pair of Nike Air Barrage and a similar colorway that I do intend to pick up at some point in the future. If you ask me, this release fell way under the radar. It wasn't until old pictures of Kobe at the Rucker started to circulate that people really started to pick these up. The restock started selling out instantly, and of course, resellers got their hands on pairs as well and were trying to make their little bit of money. This pack is supposed to be the first in a new series called Embedded, so they actually do throw in a card speaking a little bit more about that. On this side of the card, you can see it's orange and it says Embed all over it, and on the other side it's black. It says Embedded up at the top, but you do get a little blurb at the bottom letting you know a little bit more about what this series is actually about. So it says basketball remains to be the supporting roots of day-to-day culture, both on and off the court. The spirit of the game is embedded in our DNA. It lives within us today through music, movies, athletes, and style. Welcome to Capsule 1 of Embedded, an appreciation for the raw energy of street ball and the endless possibilities within the game. So I guess we can expect more sneakers centered around iconic street basketball courts. For those of you who are interested in the box, it is your typical all-over black box. It says Nike Air Force One on the top of the lid like it usually does. I'll go ahead and give you all a good look at the label. As you can see, it says Air Force One 07 LV8 EMB, which obviously stands for Embed. So the first thing a lot of people think of when you say Rucker Park is Kobe at the Rucker, and that's fine. It's definitely a memorable moment. After winning his third chip, Kobe Bryant went to Rucker Park and dropped some points. However, he is not the only legend who has graced that court. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, just to name a few. Rucker Park has a very rich history of its own, and I implore you to look it up if you're not familiar with it already, because after reading about it, the shoe will make a lot more sense to you in seeing why it is iconic and why Nike decided to kick off the Embed series with Rucker Park. Starting with the base materials of the shoe, the majority of the upper is this smooth leather around the mud guard, toe box, the back of the heel. It's a very nice smooth leather. I don't want to say that it's super good quality, but I will say it does feel a little bit better than what's normally used on Air Force Ones, and they went ahead and they switched it up for the swoosh. So the swoosh is actually a tumbled leather, and that is all accented by this contrast orange stitching. Now, of course, when you see orange, it immediately takes your mind to basketball, but orange is also the dominant color at Rucker Park. That same orange is used on the outsole, the sock liner, and to accent the tongue. So you can see they didn't do anything crazy with the color blocking on this pair. It's really the Park basketball details that are supposed to connect the shoe to Rucker Park. So let's break all of those down, starting with the tongue. So the tongue actually has this very pronounced mesh. This is not the usual mesh tongue on an Air Force One. It's very pronounced, and of course I'll include B-roll so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But initially, as soon as you look at it, you think Spalding mesh net. That's exactly what I thought. The basketball court net. And it also kind of gives you like basketball uniform vibes, I guess you could say. But the main point is that it connects your mind to basketball. Then if you take a look at the bottom of the laces, they actually swapped out the silver Air Force One Dubre with this enamel orange basketball. It's a very obvious touch, but I actually like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's a basketball, and then if you get really close in there, you can see it actually has a little check on it. One of my favorite details that's actually pretty subtle is on the back of the heel here, you have a Nike swoosh and it says 10039. That's actually the zip code for Rucker Park. So no, it is just not a random set of numbers. It is the zip code for the location of the park. It's kind of a if you know thing, and that's probably why it's one of my favorite details on the shoe. But that's not all they did. On the inside of the shoe, they actually went ahead and printed a full-length basketball court on the insole of the shoe, which is something that not many people are gonna see, if anybody. But I always say I really like those extra little details, and this is actually like printed on there. It's a part of the sole, so it won't rub off. And then of course you actually have the Nike Air on the heel there, but I just thought that was super cool. A very nice touch. This is easily something that could have been orange and done with, but when Nike pays attention to details and takes it a step further, it's always nice to see. I was thinking the other day about how much it must suck to be a shoe designer and work on a project for 4 to 6 months, either solo or as a team, and to have someone sit on the internet just like that in a 5-minute video and call your design trash. It must suck. I mean, based on your personality, maybe it doesn't bother you at all, but to whoever worked on these, very nice. I am from New York City. I have been to Rucker Park, and I think that it's a very well executed shoe. Now that I've gone ahead and showed you the shoe, went over some of the details, it's about that time that we run the on-foot footage.
Perfect.
The Nike Air Force One is an affordable and wearable sneaker option, and I think these are no exception. The white and orange colorway worked really well with the different pants options from the on foot. I even threw in the camel because we all know at this point orange and camel is definitely a tried and true combination. Personally, I think these did a great job of celebrating Rucker Park and street basketball. Let me know what you think of this pair down below in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, like, comment, subscribe, show a small YouTuber some love, and I'll check you all out in the next one.